my man.
Congratulations on the special,
Thank you very
Last
much.
Cowboy in L.A. It's available now on YouTube, and it is very funny. And where'd you film it?
We filmed it in Nashville.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this like music venue, and they're gonna hate that I forget the name of the music venue right now.
I forget the name of every venue I've ever been at. Because I guess it's a thing, but to me, when it happened already, then I don't need to know.
Yeah.
So then we move forward versus people that are really mired in dates and times of things.
Not that guy.
Not that guy.
Yeah.
I think that's good. So I'll tell you the worst guy in the world. Worst guy in the world is pulls the ponytail through the hole in the ball cap guy. That's the worst guy.
That sucks, yeah.
Second worst guy is dates guy. I buried my oldest son December 22nd, 1987. You know, like, you're like, okay, all right. I don't know what I sorry, I didn't celebrate.
I'll put it on my calendar.
I think, was that a Wednesday this year? So I think I was at work, but next year I'll sit and shiver. Like, don't give me your dates. I have no idea what my
I sometimes
dates
don't
are.
remember the comedy club until I get there. People go, "Have you played this like 3 times?" I go, "Oh, I have," and I don't really recall anything. Then once I walk through the lobby and I get to like the actual club and the green room or whatever, I'll go, "Oh," and I can tell you 20 things that happened at that club. I need to see. I actually can't remember which improv is gone now. I get Brea, I get Irvine, I get them all kind of mixed up, and one of them's gone, and I don't even know which one it is because I'd have to walk into it to remember it.
I'm told the Electric Jane.
That's it, the Electric Jane. Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Also, that's
nice.
on
Whoever gave it.
That's
nice.
on
Thanks,
them.
Joe.
That's on them because that's not that easy to remember.
I know, and it's a music venue, so who really? People aren't going to go. Oh, I'll go see some more comedy there. But a beautiful venue.
And dates, Hyenas coming up Fort Worth. That'll be November 21st, 22nd. Hyenas in Dallas, so we know where you're at.
Yep, and Fort Worth on Thursday. Yeah.
And Funny Bone coming up in Omaha, Nebraska, 29th through the 30th. Traveling, doing shows. Seeing the country, how do you feel about it?
I'm really grateful.
Good.
I love it. The caveat is that I don't have a girlfriend or a wife or kids.
Mm-hmm.
I think that a lot of my peers feel guilt about being on the road because they're people are giving them a hard time. They're going, my wife is mad at me, or like, oh, I've got to FaceTime my girlfriend all the time. So I'm pretty lucky in that way. But it is getting a little wearing now that I have a nice home. I want to enjoy my nice home, and it's hard because I'm gone.
Yeah. No, I agree. So I grew up in squalor, and so staying in a hotel room seemed really good because they had 2 sheets.
Yeah.
You know, they had a lower one and then the one that goes through like a little pita bread. And everything was nicer because I grew up in a shack, so everything was nicer.
Yes.
And then I got rich and I got nice shit. And then I started going on the road, and then I'm like, now I don't want to be away from my nice stuff because the stuff I left is much better than the place I'm going to versus having, you know, like I just said, like wall-to-wall carpet, a color TV and stuff. But then I got older and I started really thinking about the gift that is seeing all of the country.
Yeah,
places
I like that.
you would never go if this wasn't your job.
It's funny that you just put that together because that's absolutely it. My parents were broke, and then I lived in a car for a little while chasing this dream of comedy. So staying on the road meant I didn't sleep in a car, or I didn't have to hook up with a girl to sleep in her bed, or I didn't have to like ask a buddy to crash on his couch till morning. And that's what it was. But now that my home is nicer than the hotel, I'm going, when do we stay home? I just did Harlan Williams. I was at his beautiful home, and I go, how often are you on the road? And the only reason I was asking is because I was like, if I had a home,
you were
I
looking
wanna
at the
stay in
view.
the home. Yeah.
You were looking at the view from Harlan's
being in a
place,
hot tub,
right?
you
Yeah,
know,
sitting in a
like
hot
going,
tub,
this
looking
would
at
be
the view. Yeah, that's why maybe you should have a comforter that's made out of human hair at home. It's almost biblical.
Definitely never considered this.
Well, here's my pitch. You have a discomfort at home so that you appreciate the road.
Now, thank God for the Holiday Inn. This comforter's perfect.
Well, I will say that I do have a reputation of enjoying the road more than other comics. And that's just optically that other comics will see like my stories on Instagram or whatever. And they'd be like, wow, you really go do all the things. So like during the day, I think a lot of comics before me, kind of like the generation before me and the generation, they might be like, it's so depressing on the road. I just sit in the hotel and I do drugs and things. And I'm like, yeah, but if you get out of the hotel and go do like a baseball game or go see whatever president's museum is there or whatever, like just go do all that stuff, you'll have good material, but then also you're enjoying the travel part of it. And I do that probably more than most comics I know.
What's the best thing that you did on the road recently?
Sports stuff, you know? Like, yeah, I'm trying to think what a good one was.
I'll buy you a minute by telling you, I think it's sort of a duty to do it. Like the people who go to Paris and then eat at McDonald's. Yeah. You're like, what the fuck? I like McDonald's. It's like, I like McDonald's too, but you have a civic, you're not in Glendale. You have a civic duty to taste the cuisine, you know?
What, Le Big Mac is not good enough for you?
No, what I'm saying is like,
I agree with you.
You go somewhere, like, I go to Oklahoma City. I want to see the blown up federal building.
Yes.
And I'm like, it's morbid and it's weird, but how often am I in Oklahoma City?
It's still there.
And it's right up the street. Well, there's a plaque in a park.
And also they'll say, like, sometimes they'll be like, we're going to take you to this tiny dive bar, Jeff. You don't want to see that tourist crap. And I'm like, I am a tourist.
Right.
Show me the tourist crap. I
do.
want to see all the things. Keith Robinson, do you know the comedian Keith Robinson?
I know the name.
Very funny guy, like brilliant comedian, one of the tough crowd guys. So I really looked up to him even before I was in comedy. He was telling me the story that like Seinfeld will take him. Him and Mario Joyner and all of his openers, and they'll be in like Rome, and he's like, and he used that specific place, Rome, and he goes, man, I don't give an F, dude. I don't give an F, man. I went to McDonald's. I was like, just call me when it's showtime, man. I don't need to see all this crap. And I'm like tearing with laughter because I think it's hilarious that he just doesn't care, opposite of the idea, but it is funny. And then I go, Keith, you know the expression "when in Rome"?
Right.
Like, he didn't even intentionally use that as the example, but like he's just like, I don't care. I don't want to see any of that crap.
When in Rome, I take my ass to Starbucks.
Yeah, he doesn't care. He goes,
Yeah,
I don't
that
care to
sucks.
see it. Where I am the opposite, but I did find it very funny.
I agree. It's a gift, and there are certain gifts that are chosen, and then certain gifts that are imposed. And what I'm saying is this. I have written 7 books. The only reason I've written 7 books is because somebody came to me and said, I will pay you to write a book. I would never in a million years just write a book. I don't have that much discipline. I grew up sort of functionally illiterate. I'm the last person in the world, second to last, Mayhem may be last, who should be writing a book. But somebody came to me and said, I'll give you a ton of money to write a book.
Sure.
And thus I was forced to write a book. Now I'm an author, and I'm glad I wrote the book.
Sure.
But I would have never done it.
You just described parenthood.
Yes, it was imposed. I didn't pull out, and now I have a book.
That's parenthood.
Right.
They literally go, I would never be a dad. And then they're like, it's the most meaningful thing that ever happened to me.
And you would never go to these places in Oklahoma City or Wisconsin
100%.
or whatever. You never go to any of these places, but somebody paid you and you got on an airplane and you went there, and maybe you would have rather been in New York, or maybe you would have rather been in San Francisco or LA or something, but you want to bumfuck Wisconsin because they paid you, and then when you were done, you were happy you could say you saw that place and you got the vibe.
All right, top of your head, coolest thing in a janky town.
Like, I actually noticed that comics will sometimes see something I do on the thing, and they'll be like, oh, where was that? I'm going to do that. Great example was last time I was in Tulsa, which was just a few weeks ago. One of the comics was just rambling in the green room about how Sam Kinison is buried there.
Oh, yeah.
And I go, can we go tomorrow? He goes, sure. I go, pick me up, we'll get coffee, and we'll go. And we went and visited Kinison's. I don't go to a lot of cemeteries. That was like very unusual, but it was like really kind of fun. I was like, we should do more of this, see where people are buried. And now I've seen a few comics since go to Kennison's just in the last few
Oh my
weeks.
God, bro!
That's a fun one.
You didn't
See-
scream and didn't he have a bid? Was like, I'll piss on your grave.
Oh, yeah.
I
don't know if he
would have
did that.
done that
You didn't piss
100%.
on the grave bed?
He did.
Oh. Yeah, when I was in...
I left a pen. I left one of the pens that I've had
Nice.
in like all 50 states. I just kind of put it on there.
Nice.
And I bet they cleared it. Like someone left garbage on Kennison's thing. But like, I thought as a comedian, he'd appreciate that a pen was there.
For sure.
I went to Jim Morrison's grave in Paris, and I saw the catacombs where all the skulls and bones are buried out
Sick.
there in the same general vicinity. Like, yeah, Don't go to the Starbucks. Go to the catacombs.
something cool. Just, I mean, also, like, it's pretty easy to impress me. You know, so, like, as far as we're just trying to make the best of me and my buddy Ari, who's watching right now, we were like, we're going to go to Pasadena. What's some Pasadena things we can do? We'll leave early. We'll go to Pasadena. And so I guess I'm just always kind of looking for some opportunity to have, like, make the best of it.
No, look, it probably speaks of a positive mental attitude versus I'm just going to lock myself in my hotel room and see if I can beat off 3 times without pulling a calf
and
muscle.
You can,
Yeah. Yeah, so it's good.
Yeah.
It's healthy.
It's healthy.
You seem like you're in a good place. You're sober now.
Yeah.
You had a situation.
Yeah, it was
drove
very
your car.
embarrassing. Yeah.
Well, I figured you talk about it in your stand-up, so
talk about
I figured
it,
we can
we
talk
can
about it
anything.
here.
Yeah.
You got a DUI in the morning, which I was kind of impressed by. But it says out of control, but it's also like impressive. Like if somebody said, this guy got arrested, what happened? He punched a cop's horse.
Right.
Like you go,
Yeah, wait, what?
wow,
Yeah,
that's out of control, but it's also kind of fucking badass. Anyone can get a DUI at 2 a.m. coming home from the Christmas party,
8:30.
but 8:30 a.m.
9 a.m. That's a good time for a DUI.
Yeah.
Mine was a little crazy. So I slept for, I think, like 8.5, 9 hours. So what I would do is I would just drink with all my buddies, but a lot of my buddies will do cocaine, and so they're up all night.
Yeah.
And then since I'm a drunk, I would just go to sleep.
Right.
And then I would feel like FOMO, you know, like fear of missing out. I'm hearing all my buddies downstairs having a great time, and I'm going, I'm missing out on this. So what I started doing towards the end was like popping pills to try to stay awake while I'm drinking. But now I'm just blacked out. I don't remember any of the things. So I was doing this towards the end of my drinking times. And I hadn't seen my ex for like 2 years, and she was like, "I'm in LA. Let's get coffee."
Is that Chris and Cavallari?
Yeah, and I just hadn't seen her, and so dumb, stupid Jeff's like, maybe she'll fall in love with me again, and maybe we'll be back
You guys
together,
dated
know.
earlier
And
for...
we didn't even really date. I'm gonna say that publicly. She made me think that I might have a chance with her, and there wasn't a million. She treated me like a little puppy. You know, like I'm thinking I'll fly to Nashville and hang out with you, and in her mind, it's nothing to her. It was a lot to me. I believed I was in love, and boy, am I a fool.
All right, well, hold on. Let me see if I can unpack this a little bit, because I watch a fair amount of TMZ.
Okay.
Now, she is one of these people that is kind of just known for being hot, even though she was on TV shows, but like me, kind of known for just being hot. You know,
Yeah,
We
just
really
like
know
you.
Just a smoke
where we
show.
know him from.
Just like
He's
Adam
just
Carolla.
hot.
She's often compared to you.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone talks about it.
Paisan. Come on, Carolla,
Oh,
Cavallari.
the female Adam Carolla, big whoop.
So she's on, you know, the hills or the Nile or the she's on one of these shows, but she's just kind of known for being good looking.
Sure.
Now, right? And then she had a younger boyfriend more recently, I think.
I do my best to avoid anything with. I mean, this is shocking. I'm even talking about her because I try to avoid all of it.
Well,
but I can't.
healthy.
I can speak to.
Well, see, Joe, see if she recently broke up with her significantly younger sort of boy toy, good looking man-child boyfriend, because I'm trying to establish a pattern.
Oh, interesting.
She may be like an apex predator.
Sure,
you know,
yeah.
there are a handful of chicks that are wired like dudes.
For sure.
Just a handful. Like
I met him.
I was a fool, dude.
Megyn
I
Kelly.
literally was like,
That's a
this could
dude.
be a girl I could commit to and
Right.
fall and be in love
Right,
with. And
but you're
since
just-
I don't have kids, I could be the dad to her 3 kids. I was such a bitch, dude.
How long
And
ago was this?
This was during COVID, so
Oh, okay.
real drunk Jeff, mental breakdown Jeff.
Right.
But also here's the thing. It wasn't real. I wasn't with her. Like it was all. I was a distraction for her messy divorce, and I respected her privacy. I didn't go to TMZ. I didn't talk to anyone. She was with Jay Cutler.
Oh, Jay
But they were going
Cutler,
through a
right.
messy divorce,
Right.
and she used me as like a distraction. I'll let this guy come to my house once a month, and we'll hang out. And he's funny, and he has got a good attitude, and I'll use him for that. But I'll still be DMing people, and I'll still be having my cocaine parties with so and so. I was just this.
Yeah, I
this
get it.
Distraction.
Well-
but I fell in love with nothing. It was all a joke to her.
So I think what she broke up with her boyfriend a month ago, or 24-year-old boyfriend.
Yeah.
If you show a picture of this guy, you'll kind of go, oh yeah, she's got a
I was a
theme.
joke to her.
But this, you need kind of the shirt off version of this.
Well, no,
dude.
I get it. He's a hot
You
guy.
get it. Right. And
Yeah.
I don't know how old she is, but
Right.
10 years older than he is, or
Who knows? Who
he's
cares?
24. Okay, but so let's just unpack this.
Yeah. So
Men, I
go
do
ahead.
not blame men who get used this way
Right.
because it's so unconventional, you don't really see it coming. Like, I wouldn't blame a guy who said, I was just walking down the neighborhood in Manhattan and this Asian woman punched me in the face. Because you go like, oh,
Who
it's
would've
not,
thought?
yeah,
Yeah.
that's not, they don't do a lot of
Oh,
that.
you met my
Yeah,
ex
yeah,
then.
Yeah, we're looking at the guy. That
Right.
seems about right?
Right.
Like
Oh,
real boy
100%.
toy, buff, young dude. So
Yeah.
women can take advantage of this and catch you off guard because you think it's always the reverse.
Oh,
the
yeah.
guy's got a few ladies on the side.
Sure.
He's just using her. He's telling her whatever she wants to hear, but he just likes the sex.
Right.
When it's the other way around, guys get caught off guard.
I couldn't believe it.
Because you think 9 times out of 10, when a woman is having sex with you, it's like there's something.
Yeah.
She means something.
Well, she would love bomb me, right? So she
Right.
would be like super, super like, I don't want you to see anyone else. Like you're my boyfriend, blah blah blah. And then like 3 days later, it's like one word replies to text, and I'm sensitive to this. She was going through a really like difficult time in her life or whatever. But like I'm just sitting there thinking this is gonna be it.
Right.
And I was literally nothing to her.
See, I already been
Right.
through that, so I'm suspicious by nature. I would have just been
this is my
already.
first time.
Yeah, well, welcome
I'm the
to
only
the club,
dummy
bud.
who falls in love at 38. You know, it was very foolish.
Yeah, I got that too, I think,
Yeah.
once. Well, look, okay, a couple things. If the chick is a really hot blonde, and the chick who did this to me was a really hot blonde, and your station in life is not mega producer
Yeah.
or owns an airline.
Yeah, I wasn't the quarterback for the freaking
Right,
Bears.
something like that. Be suspicious because they,
Yeah.
if they're
should have been,
they're
yeah.
kind
It
of
was
slumming
dumb.
it.
Yeah.
They're
She was slumming it with me. Like I was easily the least famous person she's ever been with, and in her mind, that I'm like disposable. I'm nothing to her because she only. A lot of women, it's not just her, that they don't care.
See, but she red pilled you. She did you a favor. Now you can ascend even
Oh, for
higher.
sure. No, I do
Next
feel
time
better.
you come here,
She's
you'll be like,
nothing in my mind anymore. Like I really believed this was like I would defend her. People say, "Hey, tell us this thing." I go, "Whoa, why would I talk about her in public? That's terrible." But now it's like, big whoop.
You're free.
You don't care about me at all. You're very insensitive.
well, don't let it embitter you forever.
No, I'm not
you
bitter.
can- okay.
I feel good.
No, I feel liberated.
I feel liberated.
There
Yeah,
you
100%.
Well, you seem like turn something bad into something good.
Yeah.
You finally told your dad you were gay.
Yeah, got it out.
And
Got it out.
You didn't win a Cadillac. You just told me you're gay, but you
Yeah.
feel free.
I hate this analogy because it makes me a gay guy.
It does. So you are going to see her after a year, and
I haven't even spoke to her in forever.
and you still you're hanging on to the hope that there may be some reconciliation.
Yeah, because I would only reach out to her like if I was hammered. You know, I'd be
Right.
like at a bar at 2 a.m. be like,
Right.
see what's going on. I got no fear here. And then in the morning,
right.
like, can't believe I reached out to her. So it was
Right.
very embarrassing, drunk behavior. But so then she was like, I'm in LA. I'm doing my podcast or whatever. And I was like, oh, well, you want to get coffee? And she's like, sure. Which, like, if you listen to her podcast, she's like, I don't even know why I did it. I don't even know why. Oh, so sorry, I'm such a loser. You can't even get coffee with me.
I love women's version of almost everything.
It's so hurtful.
It's also weird too. Like they tell the story that doesn't make sense. Like I fucked this guy. I don't even know why. It's like, well, I don't know. You did it.
know,
You
right.
hit you with the.
Also, am I that much of a loser? You can't get
No.
coffee with me?
No.
I would
she had
say-
me
To protect her
humiliated.
ego.
She goes, he asked me, so like I said I would. And you're like, I'm sorry that I'm such a piece of garbage.
Yo, bro,
what a
God-
charity coffee you gave me.
God
Like,
came down from heaven and stopped those motherfucking bullets. Like you
my
got,
God.
look, you like learned like I gotta quit drinking. And
I
you
know,
learn-
100%.
and you missed that chick all at one time.
100%. 100%. Like, but it was literally like she was like, I don't even know why I agree. And then he like made me go to Burbank. So I'm sorry. I guess because Burbank's beneath her.
Right.
So anyways, I'm the night before. I even told like an Uber driver drunk. I was like, dude, I'm gonna see my ex. Like maybe things look.
Oh.
So anyways, I go to bed at like 1 a.m. and then like a drunk idiot, I sleep through my alarm. So she's FaceTiming me like, where are you? Like I'm at the coffee shop. And I was like, So like I jump in my car, I drive as fast as I can, but I feel fine. I've had mornings like this every day of my life for 20 years. So I lose control and I crash into a tree. And in the moment of crashing into the tree, I was like, all the things I'm about to say happened in like 1 second. I was going, holy crap. This isn't one of these crashes where you can back out and drive. This is a big crash. And then I was like, oh, also like they're gonna start asking questions like, were you drinking last night? How'd you lose? And all these happen in such a quick moment that I've always been a runner, right? Like my whole life. You break a window playing baseball, you run. You know, someone says the cops are coming, you run. You get in a fight, like teachers are here, you run. I've just always been a runner.
I know.
Even metaphorically, like I'll just run from relationships, all these different things. So I just ran. I ran to the coffee shop, which was like almost a mile, 2 miles away. And I get there, my adrenaline's pumping, and
Good cardio.
Oh my gosh, she's like, hey, and I was like, hey. I just act like it was no big deal because I don't know how to explain.
My man, like
what just
James
happened.
Bond.
It's also the coffee shop that I go to super often, which is the only reason I recommended it. Because you go into a place that everyone like treats you like the man if you go there all the day. So I wanted her to see me as like the man, like oh my baristas and what's up everybody. So then I order my coffee and we're sitting there. I had only seen her and the baristas that I know for about 3 minutes before cops come into the coffee shop and they're like, hey, did you drive here? And I'm like, huh? Like, and I don't know how to lie. What do you mean? I just kind of like turn my back to him. He's like, hey man, let's go outside. And I was like, huh? Like, what's going on? Like, I just played dumb. And of course, that was a little scuffle with those guys. And then, so now
was it a scuffle?
I wanted them to move it down the road.
You want to do this in plain sight.
In front of my ex, who I'm still in love with.
Is embarrassing.
And then in front of the baristas who know me.
Right.
And also that coffee shop, everyone in that coffee shop is keenly aware of who I am. Not my comedy or career or anything, but I just go in there so often that they see me all the time. So now they're looking out the window, like, what's going on? Let's go down the road. And the cop's like, hey, man, don't get froggy on me. And I'm 6'5", so he's a shorter cop. And so it was just kind of this whole thing. And then I'm going, and it was just a whole thing. So then I get arrested. I get the DUI. And everything was fine.
Now, why did you get the DUI if you're drinking the night before?
Well, I passed, and this is up for debate. The next part I'm going to say is up for debate. I believe I passed the field sobriety tests. And then he goes, "Do you mind blowing?" And I go, "I'd rather not. What if we're just going to do those? If we're going to blow,
Just
why
say
do we
no.
do the tests? Why are we doing the tests if we got to blow?"
So you didn't blow into the breathalyzer.
I did blow in the breathalyzer.
You did,
and it was way over.
Oh, it was way over.
Way over, yeah.
Still 8 hours later.
And so then I had to go to the
So
clink.
you didn't drink that morning?
No.
Really?
No, the night before, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, and it was way over.
But you were going ham the night before. That's
every
why.
night. Well, my tolerance is so high.
Yeah.
Like people, and that isn't like a brag. Like I'm the life of the party.
No,
I'm the
no,
cool
it
guy.
just
but
happens.
like when you drinking whiskey, like a bottle of whiskey a night minimum, your tolerance can get pretty high, especially for a big guy. And so, it was just over. Also, here's the worst part. After I got out, it was the lowest moment of my life. I've never felt more humiliated.
How long were you in the tank for?
15 hours.
Okay.
Also, like, I don't ever want to use the term PTSD loosely. I know you're really respect the military and you're actually a fighter. I don't want to loosely use the word PTSD, but I had some low-level PTSD getting out of jail. I'm not cut from that cloth. like when I got out, I was like pretty like.
Buddy, any
like,
amount of jail time is traumatic.
Yeah, and I'm not like a fight
People
guy.
don't realize
I'm like
it,
a smiley talk guy, and it really shook me. Like I thought I was gonna get beat up, and then there was like a homeless guy in there that kept hitting his head on the glass until he would break open.
Wow.
And the people that are in the jailers, like they don't deal with things right away, and I'm going, I'm in a cube with this guy. It was very very scary. So, anyways, I'm like I gotta figure out the court issues, the DUI issues, the things, and then she goes on her podcast and talked about it.
Well,
she shared
Gotta use
photos
that
of
ammo.
my crashed
What?
car.
No,
she
really?
talked about me like I was a loser with her co-host. All these things. So now it's in the.
do you? Sorry for doing this.
Yeah. What's up?
I get mad at the people who are the enablers. Like, I'll have a podcast where someone will be talking shit about me, but the partner should be going, well, I know you're talking a lot of shit about the guy, but we are in the studio. He built you.
Right.
So there's got to be something. But they just keep rolling with
Right.
it. Like, my thing is, like, I'm not here to deny, but I am here to be the voice of the person who's not in the room and try to offer some defense for this person. Like, a lot of people go, this guy comes up, calls me a prick for no reason. No reason, just walks by. I go, no reason? Okay, I was blocking his garage with my car. You know,
that's
you go,
the comedian in you.
Okay, I want to know, though, because as your version of it is so slanted, so tilted, and so one direction. I believe it's the job of the partner or the person that's in the room to be a little devil's advocate and go, well, look.
Here's what she'll say. Here's what she'll say to this.
Right.
She'll go, well, he showed up and he crashed his car. That's what kind of crazy person crashes his car and then comes to the date.
Right.
Or she won't even call it a date, the coffee. Right. So yeah, that is crazy. And probably worth telling the story on a podcast. Imagine showing up for your ex and your ex is just about, you haven't seen your ex for 2 years and then you show up and he gets arrested. Pretty interesting story.
Yeah.
Right.
My argument to that is maybe wait a year or two.
Yeah.
Do you need to tell it right away?
Nah, welcome
I'm
to
still
content.
in jail and you already can't
Oh
wait to
my
tell
God.
the content. And then the other part I'm going to say that it was where she crossed a line was that she talked about me like I was the scum of the earth and not a person that was pretty nice to her. I've never wronged her in any way. I didn't deserve that. And then the other part was she shared photos of it, of my crashed car that I had only sent her on her Instagram and her podcast. Then she goes, well, I didn't say your name. Give me a break. And then the other part I will say that crossed a line is, or not that crossed a line, you might say, well, who cares? You're being a baby about this. Let her do whatever she wanted. It's her podcast. It did happen to her. They used it in court against me.
Oh, her discussion on the podcast?
The state said, according to Kristen Cavallari's podcast, you smelled of alcohol. So she might think, oh God, get over it. I haven't even talked to you for 2 years. I'm banging some 21-year-old now. It broke my life open. And crushed me so low that I've questioned everything. Love, I questioned alcohol, and to her, it's nothing. That's a pretty big deal to me.
I think you're going to have a renaissance, not a renaissance. You're going to have the last laugh. Now, because I had this.
Because women age poorly?
Yeah, I had a hot blonde do some version of this with me when I was a struggling comedian. Really had no business sort of slumming it with me, but I had the same feeling.
It's
like,
terrible.
Who is this? And I think she was with some other guys. But later on, once I got a little famous, I circled back. You know? And now the shoe was on the other foot.
Yeah.
Because she hadn't had much success. And then I then had a ton of success, and now I was in the driver's seat. It was good.
And I think that's what people think. I think they think, well, who cares? Who's Jeff Dye? I actually like Kristen Cavallari. She's hot, and she has a great podcast, and she's cool, and she's in the media eye, and she's in TMZ. Who cares about this loser comedian who's an alcoholic? That's good. He could have killed someone. It's deserved, blah, blah, blah. I've heard it all. I've read it all. But what we're forgetting is that I'm a person. I didn't deserve that at all.
Well, did you know? So this all popped in my head because I was watching TMZ last night, and she was doing some TikTok thing.
Some bullshit.
I don't what in terms of the trends. You know, it's like, what's the trend this week? Eat one of those Tide Pods. Eat
I wish she would.
Yeah. Oh, all right. What do we got next week? We're doing the cold dump challenge. We're going to dump a bottle. What are we doing this week? We're talking about guys we fucked. It's like, do you have to go along with everyone?
Yeah.
Maybe there's something you could skip. I know it's something for 14-year-olds.
But how do you stay relevant on TMZ and tell your gay publicist, get me on things, tell them I broke up. Oh, am I with this guy and I'm going to actually enjoy it? Tell everyone that it was the best sex I ever had. Oh, now I'm going to Tahiti and I'm going to be seen with an actor. If you don't have a talent, Adam, you have to constantly tell your publicist, how can I get in the news this week? Oh, did you see that I did the TikTok? I did the TikTok thing. Oh, does that not work? Now I'm a Kamala speaker.
It is interesting
you need
in
to
that
find a way way to be relevant.
But it also has. I'll show you the clip. It's.
I'd rather not see the
You
clip.
know, want to see the clip? All right, I'll show you the clip.
We're just twisting the knife on this guy.
She slept with Jason Statham, I think was
Big
the
whoop.
thing.
Yeah, she did it, what, 10 years ago? Jason Statham's even like, who is talking about having sex with me?
But can I say this about people,
Yeah.
and you tell me what you think?
Yeah. She's going to use this, by the way. This is what's going to be in the thing tomorrow because she doesn't have a thing.
Hi,
I know,
Kristen.
but so let's talk about how you would feel,
Yeah.
or how. Okay, so let's try to figure this out.
By the way, can I say this is
yes.
the best conversation we've ever had together?
Good.
I like it.
I didn't have to talk about leaf blowers and Pacoima. This has been a treat. I love you.
I love you. And I want to say this. And you guys will both vibe for this for different reasons. I've always been good with my hands because I used to box, and I box a lot, and I taught boxing and stuff like that. And I was always comfortable with people and guys and drunk guys and guys
Yeah.
getting in my grill, invading my space and stuff like that. Mayhem knows I grew up with these guys. We fought every day. I didn't even care if someone punched me. I was fine. I felt scared. And then later on, I got into comedy. And I would come into the room with the funny guys, and this guy's the best punch-up guy in the industry, and this guy's this guy, and that guy. And I was like, oh, I'm funnier than all these guys. I always felt that way. And it was based on, like, being funnier than they were, like, in the room, sort of fucking around, on the radio, whatever it was. So I kind of was chill with stuff because I never felt like I was threatened or
Sure.
like some big dude was going to fucking kick my ass or some guy was going to come in and be 10 times funnier than me and show me up, or whatever it was. But not possessing a skill.
Yeah.
Like, there are comedians that aren't really funny.
Right.
And
Your
they have
boy,
to, like,
Jimmy, crying on television, pretty unfunny.
But he is funny as a person.
Used to be,
he
yeah.
is funny. And so he doesn't have that insecurity that you like. What if you really didn't feel like you were that funny?
Yeah.
And what if you did really feel like you couldn't kick anyone's ass?
Imposter syndrome, yeah.
And now you're walking around in some weird headspace where you're looking over your shoulder every time a guy comes down the sidewalk. You're like looking over, you're crossing the street,
Yeah.
or you wouldn't go on someone's podcast because you feel like you'd be exposed,
Sure,
or something like that. So if you're a male or a female and you possess no discernible talent, like we don't need you, you're not funny, you don't have a skill, you don't
rattles you.
You don't do MIG or TIG welding, you don't do great custom auto body lacquer spray jobs or anything. I think about these people all the time who walk through life sort of skillless. Like I talk to Dr. Drew all the time. Dr. Drew's a physician. You know what I mean? I'm a carpenter. I have a skill.
Right.
You get a certain grounding and a kind of a certain confidence, not an arrogance, but it's like I possess a
you
skill.
know what
I
you-
have a
100%.
field of expertise. Drew has a field of expertise. You get a black belt in Taekwondo. You come out with a comedy album.
Yeah.
You have a field of expertise. Walking around,
scary.
So many people with like, I work for the post office and I'm good at nothing. That's got to be a weird position.
I tell my nieces, I don't have kids, so like the only time I get to give advice to anyone is like some of these little girls, my nieces and my nephew, and I tell them like I'm always trying to encourage them. What are you good at? What's your thing? And the reason I say it is because like in school I got to be the funny guy. I've known I'm the funny class clown guy, and I would fight for that position when kids would start to get funny too. I say, hey, I'm the funny guy, because that's you. If once you know your thing, you do get that confidence. You kind of get that. I was like, okay, let the athlete guys be the athlete guys, and really give them the credit. Wow, you lifted that bench press, And in the math class, let the math kids shine, and then that way we can all have our things that we shine in. And like you said, if you don't know and you're just kind of good at a bunch of stuff and you're kind of
or
whatever,
you're not good at anything, really.
Yeah.
I mean, and I think there's a lot of women, especially if they grow up hot, never had to learn a skill. Like if you think about being a hot blonde, that's your job.
I know.
You don't need any vocational training.
Yeah.
And it starts at age 14, 15. I mean,
Right.
it doesn't start when you're 25. Society plucks you out about the 9th grade, labels you hot, especially if you're a hot blonde, especially if you're in this society. Maybe other more evolved societies wouldn't tolerate you just being a dingbat and not learning anything. But because it's funny. there's Canadian hot chicks, and then there's Florida hot chicks.
Yeah.
Florida hot chicks don't know shit.
Right.
Canadian hot chicks are like, oh, yeah, I have a master's degree. It's like, why are you studying?
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
why not? In
And
Canada...
take your hot girlfriend to Spain. Watch how fast her confidence drops.
Right.
Like, oh, boy.
So you have to navigate this life where you don't really possess a viable, discernible, or tangible skill. And that has to give you a weird sense of insecurity because what you have to do is your skill is trying to be famous.
Right. And that's all
not
it
being
is.
famous. Seth MacFarlane's famous
Dude.
because he has a skill.
Right.
But some of these hot chicks are famous for being hot and thus must resort
And
to all
also,
of
what's
this.
the pursuit of fame? You have beautiful kids that you could be raising. You have this awesome home. You have a great company where you sell, costume jewelry or whatever. Just live your life.
It's the hot chick
Why
industrial
do you need
complex.
every week
Yes.
to be in like this pursuit
She's
of
got a
power?
bunch of
is insane.
sycophants. You said the gay publicist.
Yeah,
Everybody makes
grow
a
up.
boatload of money propping this hot chick up.
Yes. Why is she surrounding
and
herself
she
with gay
uses
guys?
you as content.
Why is she surrounding herself with gay guys?
Well, the same
because they
reason
won't
they have-
say no. They
right.
won't disagree. They're gonna go, oh, but you're so beautiful. You're so hot. Like he is a loser. And if we dated a week later, they'd be like, we've always liked him. We've always liked you. They just support anything
Yeah,
she
yeah.
does.
Yeah.
They don't tell her, hey, stupid, maybe don't crush this guy's life. That's what a good friend would do. But instead, it's just encourage the hot chick because they don't have a paycheck or a podcast without her. And they know she's daddy, so it's this system of like, just build up daddy. Why won't she have a woman in her life? Why won't she have a woman friend? Because the woman friend's going to compete or challenge.
Yeah.
And so it's just surround yourself with a bunch of twinks who are just going to agree with everything you say until the money runs out.
You went
and
to trial on that?
What's that?
You went to trial on that?
What does that mean?
Like, you went to a trial to like fight that DUI, or did you just
no,
settle
You
it?
went
No,
from
that was-
twink to DUI too quick.
What do you mean? I thought there was some like
No,
slang
I'm just
I
saying,
didn't
like
know.
you're lucky that you didn't have to go to trial on all this kind of thing.
I mean, in a way, it was. I mean, they were like determining my punishment, and they were trying to show how reckless I was. Because I'll take full responsibility. It was stupid, and I could have killed someone. I could have killed myself. It was literally the worst thing I've ever went through in my life. But to have to be there and deal with all that was just, it was a lot.
I have another subject, but I think
let's do
you'll
it.
be interested in. I talk all the time about the language and taking control of the language. The left wants to modify everything, and what they do is they do a lot of, they'll take. It started a long time ago. I know it's on Loveline in the '90s. I'd say, were you a rape victim? They go, rape survivor.
Ugh.
And I'd go, well, what's the difference? And they'd go, I'm taking control of this thing 'cause I'm a survivor. And they would say, I go, are you blind? They'd go, seeing impaired. I'd go, okay, well, that's confusing because there's like people that are seeing impaired who can drive a car during the daytime, but not at night, so on and so forth. So I was very much like, what are they doing with the language? This is more than 25 years ago. Why they want the language? Well, the language gets controlled because if you say, I'm against abortion, then you might be a decent person. But if you're against a woman's right to have reproduction rights
same
over
stuff.
her body,
100%.
then that makes you a bad guy. So everything is tweaking. And like I said, it was a legal alien was in this country, was an illegal alien, and then it became like an undocumented alien. And whatever it is they want to do...
Separating families.
Right.
Like, that's just it's a catchphrase.
Right. They first have to label it as something that would be grotesque for you to oppose it. And then once they label that, homeless people should just be called stray junkies. If we called them
Drug addicts.
junkies who roam your streets, sometimes possessing weapons like machetes, you'd go, we got to do something about this fucking tomorrow. But if you call them the unhoused community, then your answer is, well, get him a house.
Now you're a jerk.
He's unhoused.
Right.
He needs a house.
100%. You're nailing it.
We're just calling him unhoused. He's a mental patient junkie with a machete.
But it's masked as virtuous.
Right.
Which is the worst part.
Right. So what they do is they keep going, and then you become a bad person because you would like to take people who are illegal aliens in your country. By the way, would anyone make a case for Canada? If I said to the most progressive person, there's this American dude, and he snuck across the border into Canada, and now he's living in Quebec, they'd go, well, certainly Trudeau and Canada have the right to send him back to the United States. You go, that's some bullshit, isn't it? And they'd go, no, it's Canada. You're not.
I can't just live in Australia without doing the paperwork. He
snuck into Canada? Yeah, then they should go ahead and take 100%. Him back to have him cross Niagara Falls
also,
and go back.
Let's be very clear, no one's against immigrants.
No, I know.
Our country's fine with immigrants. We're against illegal immigrants.
Right.
There's a big difference.
But there's all the verbiage.
Yes.
And then the verbiage makes them right. And AOC took the cake. I saw her over the weekend giving a speech because now Trump is talking about deporting. She's still a thing. She's not going to be a thing for that much longer because she's getting a little older and a little fatter.
She's super hot and she's super wrong about everything.
Everything. But here it is.
People talk, especially elected officials, about the issue of undocumented Americans.
All right, pause.
Undocumented Americans.
These are Americans?
They're not Americans.
Well, so everyone from El Salvador and Guatemala is an American the second they set foot in San Diego?
They're not.
Or across the Rio Grande?
They're not American. They're undocumented people.
Undocumented American sounds like your Uncle Phil lost his driver's license at the airport, and AOC wants to get him a second duplicate license. And also, you would be the worst person in the world if you wanted to take the Army and train it on undocumented Americans.
Yeah.
But we'll listen to the rest of her speech, because it's perfect. It's perfect.
Americans, one thing that we can say is that we agree. Being undocumented is a problem. But our solution, instead of turning the military on our own people, is to document them. To document the undocumented. Woo-hoo! Pretty simple.
Pretty simple. They're undocumented, and now there may have been a flood or fire, and they lost their documents.
Well, bad ideas are super simple.
But they're Americans, and but see, the verbiage is, once we agree on undocumented Americans, then I have an idea. Let's just get them documents, and we could get on with our lives.
Did she misspeak, or was that is that a new
calculated,
thing?
That's how she thinks. There's like 15 million people here from other poor countries, and her deal is let's get them a slip of paper and solve the problem.
We are agreeing. You're like, we're not agreeing.
Right. We're not.
I think that I've noticed it. I read a book about this, that it's been happening for the last 30 years, but I've just noticed it. They'll intentionally label things, this is Black Lives Matter, because if you disagree with what's happening, then it sounds like you're suggesting that Black lives don't matter.
Right.
Oh, anti-fascist. Who isn't anti-fascism? We all are. But now you have to they play these word games, right? So someone will say a thing to you and you go, that's just like Marxism. And they're like, whoa, well, it's not real Marxism.
Right.
Or, oh, we've tried communism. They go, well, they didn't try the type of communism that we're talking. They don't want finite rules.
Right.
I have a Muslim friend who's just super pro-gay, pro all this stuff. And I'm going, but I thought Muslims. And they go, that sounds like your understanding of Muslims is. And you go, oh, well, if we just don't have a definition or words for any of these things and we're just going to play around with it manipulatively, we're never going to agree on anything.
Agreed. Well, we can agree on never agreeing on anything. All right, we take a break. Mayhem's got some news. Speak on YouTube, and I'll give you his website, Jeff Dye, DYE.com for dates. Mayhem, you got some news?
Got some news. Fox News host Pete Hegseth has said on air he has not washed his hands for 10 years because germs are not a real thing.
Well, watch the clip.
As I told you, my 2019 resolution is to say things on air that I say off air. I don't think I've washed my hands for 10 years. Really, I don't really wash my hands.
Someone help me!
No, I inoculate myself. It's not, germs are not a real thing. I can't see them, therefore they're not real.
So you're becoming immune to all of the
exactly.
bacteria.
I can't get sick.
My dad.
No, he's right. He's 100% right. He's 100% right.
Well, I'm glad he's not my physician. I'll tell you that.
Yes. And you can wash your hands, but the over cleanliness thing is an issue. It leaves you vulnerable. It hurts your immune system. Mm-hmm. And the thing I realize when they're taking Pete out, because the plan now is going to be everyone on the left is going to turn these people into crazy people. and they're going to give you their version of these people, and they're going to do what Kristen Cavallari did to you on the podcast.
Yeah.
They're going to give you their version
Yeah.
of it. As a matter of fact, Joe, I didn't prompt you on this, but I think at the end of 60 Minutes last week, they did a 1-minute sort of synopsis of who everyone was. And what they do is they, so Kennedy, RFK Jr. is not a sort of decorated attorney who's won many cases against Monsanto and other polluters and stuff. He's an anti-vaxxer.
Yeah.
There are no other
Right. You can't be a guy
credentials.
that-
Like
yeah.
if somebody said, who's Adam Carolla? All that guy does, as far as I can tell, is talk shit about Kristen Cavallari. I don't know anything else that guy's done. He just talks shit about Kristen Cavallari.
What-
Like, so you could do that, but if you're being for me, you could go, well, he's a New York Times best-selling author, and he's created a lot of TV shows and had a lot of success, and talk shit about Kristen Cavallari. But if you just go talk shit about Kristen Cavallari, they go, well, what's that guy doing trying to host this show or do that show, right? So that's kind of what they
Which is what
do.
the left was.
Well,
Just people who talk trash about Trump.
Right.
You want to know how you lose an election? Don't tell us anything except obsess about Trump.
What I realized is my lot in life is people say stuff about other people, and I kind of agree with those people, and it happens all the time. It's a chick thing. When my ex-wife's friend once was like, I'll never forget where I was. She was like, it was when Matt Damon got into trouble for saying, look, there's a difference between what Harvey Weinstein did and what Al Franken did. And she was like in my living room, and she goes, Matt Damon, just shut up. And I was like, what do you mean? I agree 1,000%.
Making a good point.
1,000%. What are you talking?
100%.
Just shut up. And I realized, I disagree with stuff people are yelling about.
Yeah. Well,
Do not wash your hands. Do not use Purell. Help your immune system. And then I realized it's not just Pete Hegseth. It's RFK Jr. was a big thing a year ago when he's walking through an airplane and went to the bathroom barefoot.
No, I love it.
He was barefoot in the airplane, and everyone was going nuts. They were like, he went to the bathroom barefoot because he understands that he eats roadkill and shit. Like, he understands you got to get in the mud, you got to wrestle around. That's him.
Oh, nice.
Right. And the thing that's always funny about our piece of shit society is like Michael Moore probably thinks that RFK Jr. is nuts, except for Michael Moore's a gelatinous blob of bullshit who's 10 years younger than this guy who can bench 300 pounds.
Yeah, look
and
at his body.
Never fucking sick a day in his life. And we're going, what's he doing, man?
Yeah.
Whatever the fuck he's
weird.
doing, you should start doing it too, because he's about the most fit 68, 69-year-old I've ever seen. But
Even that kind of that little thing, calling him an anti-vaxxer, goes back to the language
Right,
thing.
right.
It's like there's some vaccines that are great. If you want to go to Africa, when I went to Morocco, I had to take a bunch of vaccines, or I didn't have to, but I did because they were
Right.
the medically. You could show me the science on that. Just because he realized that COVID was a coup doesn't mean that he's an anti-vaxxer.
I agree. And by the way, Kennedy, I liked even more this a year ago. Once everyone made fun of him walking through the airplane into the bathroom barefoot, which I fucking love.
Yeah.
Later on, he made a video from the airport addressing it. And they pan down, he was barefoot in the airport. 'Cause I think this is it, right? He's telling everyone to suck his dick, which I love.
Hey, Harvey and all the gang at TMZ, I want to thank you for all you do to keep politicians honest and make sure that they comply with all the norms of our society. And even for me, for calling me out on going barefoot on an airplane, that was inexcusable. And I can assure you that will never happen again.
When he's barefoot. I saw that and I was like, I like this guy.
I like it. I like Harvey too. You think Harvey cares? Harvey's like, hey, give me more content.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Harvey it wasn't like Harvey was like, let's
Harvey
get
Levin,
RFK.
yeah.
Like he has the giant news network.
So I realized if you walk into an airplane bathroom barefoot, you think how I think about germs. you don't forget to put your shoes on. No chick
Sure.
I know would ever go barefoot. And you think, I got to be exposed to germs. If you're pulling up a bear from the road and throwing it on the roof of your car so you can eat it, when you get home, you think how I think about germs. And that's why that guy is strong. So now we got 2 cabinet appointees that don't care about germs. Got Pete and RFK Jr. I think we have that 60 Minutes clip they found, which is funny. I always like also when they go, this guy's got no experience working in government. It's like, that's the plan.
That's what we want.
That's the plan, dude.
This past week, Republicans won the House majority, and President-elect Trump made nominations to his cabinet. Some nominees appear to have no compelling qualifications other than loyalty to Trump. The nominees are Senator Marco Rubio for Secretary of State, Pete Hegseth to lead the 3 million people of the Department of Defense. He's a combat veteran, most recently a morning show host on Fox News with no government experience. Former Congressman Matt Gaetz for Attorney General, in charge of law enforcement. Gaetz has been investigated by Republicans for alleged drug use and sex with a minor. Gaetz denies those allegations. Former Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard for Director of National Intelligence. She sought a pardon for Edward Snowden, who leaked U.S. secrets and now lives in Russia. And Robert Kennedy Jr. for Secretary of Health and Human Services, a skeptic of vaccinations. It's up to the new Republican majority.
And then there's Adam Carolla, who hates Christine Cavallari.
RFK, we killed his brother.
That's right. Yeah, he doesn't like the outfit that killed his brother. Well, there you go. That's all they're there. They're all just friends with Trump.
It was a dark and ominous, foreboding type clip right there. It was very strange how they framed that.
It seems to me that Tulsi Gabbard was in the military, but I think they just
they
forgot
want to call her a veteran.
Forgot about that
strange.
Part. She's just friends with Russia.
Also,
Russia. She loves Russia.
Tulsi's really liberal. She's hardly like a Republican we should be villainizing.
I've interviewed her. She's very bright, very sharp.
She's so reasonable. And like even the farthest left people should be like, well, Tulsi Gabbard's great.
They're still trying to do this Russia thing with her.
I know.
Which is awesome. They never get tired of the Russia thing. All right. Sorry, Mayhem.
Nah, no stress. I love you guys kicking it, cracking wise. 2 Missouri officers asked women for their phones, then stole nude images, authorities say. Yeah, a former Missouri police officer and a former Missouri State Highway Patrol, separate cases, both been indicted. Look, the long and short of it is they took the ladies' phones during traffic stops, stole pornographic movies off of more, and one was a movie, some were nude images of them and other people that they had on the phone, and sent it to their own personal cell phone. One of them got smart and triggered an investigation. And she realized, wait a minute, someone deleted a message that's sent to a number that I don't know, and found out this guy was sending her nudes to his phone. Yeah.
How? It seems like it should be more difficult to just rip porn, custom porn, off the phone. But also, here's what I was thinking about. We are now in an era where every young, attractive woman at some point is going to have pictures of her at least in a bikini, probably
more than a bikini,
less than a bikini, and possibly footage of her in action.
Sure.
And we're no longer going to have to do that thing that I'm old, and so I grew up in an era where people your grandmother back in the day was quite the looker.
Yeah. Here's a drawing.
Here's a charcoal drawing of your grandmother at 22. Woo-wee. All the fellas in the town she lived in, they all came a-courting. You know what I mean? She was, and you're kind of looking at her, and she's kind of pear-shaped and has a hook nose. And you're like, really? Nana was good? Oh, all the boys. We no longer have to take people's word for it. We're going to see actual footage of them fucking.
For sure.
Let's say, guys, she was hot. Good. Let's see her ride this dude's cock.
That's the future.
Let's
look back at your grandma's OnlyFans.
I've had girls in my DMs be like, want to watch me suck, and I'm like, wait, that would be someone else's.
I
sending me this.
Fuck it, send it twice.
Screw it. I guess I'll see it, but this is weird.
They would ask.
What's that?
They would ask if you would like to see them blow another guy.
Yeah, because they'll send like pictures and stuff, and then I'll be like, "Wow, this is hot," or like whatever you're saying during a intimate message back and forth, and then she'll be like, "I'll send you a video of me like in action, basically." But then, I'm going, but that'd be some other guy
You're
with
right.
you. I have to just kind of go, screw it.
I agree.
Look around the penis.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
exactly. Yeah.
Well, you
Like good for this guy.
Yeah. So they're showing you game footage.
Yeah.
Like
well,
they're
sometimes I was just saying, like it's happened.
It's happened.
Yeah, it's happened.
There used to be. Now I'm old, but you used to rent VHS porn movies, right? VHS rent, and in the back they had those 1-800 numbers, or they'll call me.
Oh, really?
There were phone sex
remember, yeah.
advertisements, and one of them it always burned in my soul because the chick was blowing a guy, and in the middle, like went, "Oh, there you are. Hey, you want to talk? Call. Oh, I'll be waiting on the other line." You know, and it's like, well, yeah, but what about this guy?
What is happening over there? Yeah.
Well, this guy. It didn't make sense. Even in my young mind, I was like, "You're blowing. Clearly, you're in a committed
Talk to me.
relationship,
This
and
guy
you want
likes
to talk
you.
to me." And then what about the guy who's getting blown?
Yeah.
He's like, "Who are you talking to?
Yeah, what's going on?
You're telling some guy to call you?
Don't take a call.
What's this camera tripod doing in our bedroom, huh?"
These gals love multitasking.
I know.
They really do.
Yeah, I felt the same way.
Yeah.
Do not ask me when you're blowing this guy
Yeah.
to call you.
Oh, and also, I am aware that women, especially modern women, are having
Yes.
fun and multiple. I just, have a little couth. You don't have to,
And also, do you really want me critiquing your technique? You know what I mean?
Let me find out, once we're in it.
Yeah. Let's a little less history and a little more mystery, as I like to
You don't
say.
have to show all your cards.
Yeah, the cops totally figured this out. Like, I don't know. This just lets me know, like, how many more cops have done this. Because if they take your phone, which you should
sure.
never let it go, and, never let it go to a cop, he can just do whatever he wants. And, yeah, this has happened quite a bit.
I think the excuse with the cops now is they want to know if you were texting while
can they check
driving.
that?
I think so, yeah. I mean, if you were texting and you got pulled over 5 minutes later, your
could
phone
timeline,
would know. I think they would know via your phone whether you were texting and driving
Yeah,
or
but
not.
like the thing is, you're supposed to make them do an investigation. You're supposed to never
Not
talk
just
to
give
the
it to
cops
them, yeah.
at all with your thing with the cops.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I have a different background. I don't talk to the cops at
Right.
all. I don't blow in that thing. Nope. Make me. You can't make me.
I live under
and
the
you'll
same-
lose your license for a year, but it's suspicion of DUI.
I
not
live under
DUI.
the, like, maybe if I get along with these boys.
No,
and
it doesn't work that way.
Yeah, I know.
It's an adversarial system. The minute they show up,
Yeah.
you're against them.
Unless you did the man show and they like you.
That's true. That might be
Man.
true, but Bully Beatdown wasn't that big a hit.
All right, what else? You
Hey,
got,
next
man?
up, bro. Breaking news: the Trump dance takes the sports world by storm.
Nice.
I'm sure we got footage, huh? Man, there's
an end
this
zone
past
dance.
weekend,
John
John Jones did the Trump dance. It wasn't bad. I think it was a pretty good version of the Trump dance. And all football weekend, everybody was busting the Trump dance.
Yeah.
It's just a whole new era of Trump dancing.
The night after the election, I played the Irvine Improv in Orange County. I did the Trump dance right as I came out.
you did?
Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about, bud.
The night, his first set after the election, the Wi-Fi.
And
But
you-
I went up there, I did a bad version of it. After I watched my dance, I go, ooh.
I think these guys are doing a
Should've
terrible
worked.
version.
They're not doing the right
They're not
version.
doing the
I
right. The
did it-
right
I
version
did
is
it-
upstairs. Yeah, there you go.
up
It's
and
up,
down.
up,
Yeah,
up.
I think fist out too a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. YMCA.
It is strange that, how I was at the day of the election before it was determined. I was at Marmalade, little cute brunch spot, with 3 of my buddies, and 2 of them had Trump hats on. They had MAGA hats on, and a woman that was across
In what
from us.
city?
Sherman Oaks.
Oh, wow.
And there was a woman that was looking at them, mouth agape. She
Yes.
couldn't believe the gall on these boys to wear a MAGA hat while she was wearing a Harris Walls shirt.
Right.
Yeah.
But in her mind, they are monsters for wearing that hat. It's like you're both wearing political propaganda.
Right.
You're both wearing the politician thing.
Yeah, the problem is if you're going to veer into a sort of morality lane about, Hitlerian and stuff like that, then in their mind, that's always going to take a front seat to policy. Because if you're really talking about what they're talking about, and if you believe it. Now, most of them don't believe it.
Right.
Morning Joe and Minka wouldn't go to Mar-a-Lago and have brunch with Trump if they believed it. Now, here's how you know they're liars. 100%. Because everyone's going, well, what's Morning Joe and Minka going and breaking bread with Trump that 3 years of talking shit or
calling
9
him
years
Hitler. That's a pretty big thing to call someone.
Right. So here's how you know they're lying. If they believed that he was Hitler when they met him for breakfast, they would have an attaché case with C4 in it, and they would blow up Hitler
100%.
at his lair.
Yes.
But they wouldn't go out there and eat quiche with Hitler. So would be a pretty good name for a comedy special, eating quiche with
Hitler?
Right.
Oh, wow.
But they're lying. Now, their subjects believe them. They don't believe it, right? So who you saw at Marmalade Cafe in Sherman Oaks was a subject of an elite liar.
Yeah.
They don't believe it. None of the elites. Look, Obama doesn't believe it. Biden doesn't believe it. Kamala Harris. None of those people believe it, but the dumb chick from Sherman Oaks does buy into it. And so in her world, you're supporting a Hitlerian monster,
crazy to me.
which would trump any policy because in the face of a Hitlerian takeover, why are we even talking about, like some of the, in Nazi Germany or in Poland when Hitler invaded, what was the corporate tax rate at the time?
Right.
And everyone goes, well, who the fuck cares?
What are you talking about?
He was making ovens and putting Jews in it. But what was the corporate tax rate?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Nobody knows. Nobody cares. So if he was that, then your friend is right from the Marmalade Cafe.
Yeah.
But we know they weren't. And so it becomes a weird thing where it's like that person's life will probably improve under Trump because they'll be in a safer environment with less. If that person owns a business, they'll be in better shape because of Trump. California will have less illegals camping in front of her house or business or whatever it is. But that person is almost like a dog that you take to the vet and the dog is struggling, and you're like trying to hold the dog and you're giving him an injection and the dog is squirming. It's like, for your own good. For your own good. And the dog thinks he's going somewhere weird and being stabbed.
It's unreal.
Right? Yeah.
Trump could sneeze and people go, "Do you see how he sneezed?" Like in my life, I've never seen, and we've had a lot of presidents since I've been alive. I was living in Seattle when George W. Bush was in office. I didn't think it could get more hateful towards a political leader. Trump is the most people can't. He can't do anything.
Well, put myself in
there.
their.
He can now.
Well, put myself in their shoes. What would it take for either of you guys to think, oh wow, this guy is like Hitler? Would he have to
Hitler?
Start locking people up and
he'd have to start?
Well, because he threatened their whole argument.
To Hitler.
Well, their whole
the
argument.
worst president in the world isn't Hitler.
Yeah. Their whole argument is that he's going to lock up his dissenters and he's going to lock up the Democrats.
Insane.
They're saying that.
He would have to start doing 1/10 of what they say he's going to do. Now, 100%, that would be Hitler. If he did a very small percentage of what they say he's going to do, I would start thinking of him that way. But he's not. What he's going to do is stuff that they're going to spin, like kids in cages and things like
all
that.
This nonsense.
Which is
when Obama deported more Mexicans than anybody in the history of America.
Wait, so if you would lock up some senators or something like that, then you'd be like...
If he, let's put it to you this way. If some senator, let's just say there's a January 6th committee, right?
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
Right. And so then you got Liz Cheney. And then there's a bunch of stuff that's kind of fishy, like all their logs have been destroyed. They don't have they scrubbed all their computers. All right, that's a little bit of destroying evidence, so to speak. But if it came out, look, if there was an email that said, I, Anthony Fauci, know that COVID is a hoax, but I'm being paid a ton from Pfizer to lock people in their house. Then I'd go, he can go to prison. He can go to prison. And that's not you turning the military on your enemies or whatever. That is a rogue American who did something illegal. So if that is the case, then I'm fine with that. The question is...
They won't. They'll say, who would send that email? That must have been a fake email.
If you do that in the face of no evidence or little evidence, then no. So we'll see. It's not going to happen.
Okay.
That's all.
That's the thing that scared. They got to me. They got to me with all this. Oh, he's going to lock up his opponents. I'm like, oh shit. Yeah. That sounds like Hitlerian. Sounds
not
pretty
I
sketchy.
drank all the Kool-Aid on that 10 years ago, but then... Not now. And when I say 10 years ago, I mean that's when I was a very liberal guy, and I was like, oh, when liberals were normal. And I haven't changed any of my positions. I'm a 2001 liberal.
Yeah, me too.
I've just changed nothing. But it's all because they have to grow.
Yes.
So it isn't just gay rights and gay marriage. Now it's puberty blockers and cut your wieners off. And now it's not. Now it's not. Let's not go to war. Now it's choose a side in the war and warmonger it. We don't. They're not liberals anymore. They're literally psychos who trust the government.
It's exactly right. I'm liberal.
You trust the government?
Well,
my parents in Seattle would say, Jeff, we don't trust Big Pharma. And now I'm a dumb hick because I don't trust Pfizer and Johnson & Johnson.
My mom would have said the same.
That's insane.
All right, let me give a plug to Jeff Dye because Adam Ray's here.
All right.
And he's got a special.
He's the best.
Love that guy. Last cowboy in L.A. Jeff, always great to see you.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate you guys. Man,
Thanks
good
for
to see you,
coming
brother.
by.
God bless.
Good to see Joe, baby.
And we'll take a break, and we'll bring in Adam Ray right up.
Wild. Been doing the show a year. What a wild. Thank you. Very cool. Very proud of it. Hope you guys watch it.
It's great. I had the opportunity to do the live show at the Comedy Store. Had a great time. It's it's a kind of thing that I don't know. You might not think would be a great subject for comedy. I mean, but you do Dr. Phil. He's funny.
Sure.
You do funny Dr. Phil.
Yeah.
But that seems good for a 3-minute bit.
Totally.
Into
Some people would
hot
probably
talk.
still argue that.
No, you pulled it off, and we're in a renaissance where there are no rules anymore.
Right.
It's just what is funny.
That's a great way to put it. I also think there is no. This country is great for hey man, if you think you can, fucking go for it. The only thing stopping you really is you. Obviously, if you're trying to be the best painter of all time and you have no arms and legs, there's probably other things stopping you.
Right.
If you want to be the best porn star and you don't
have arms or legs.
Don't have arms or legs and a 2-inch cock, there's probably God was like, this isn't your plan, Jeff.
Right.
But yeah, I think that you're right. People at the end of the day want funny, and I think it's also, as much as people keep going oh man, so did you pick what funny talk show host would be the person to impersonate? I'm like, no, it happened in such a organic way, but really what I get, I guess, not defensive, but confident in is the fact that it's an accumulation, the show is, of all the things I've been doing for 17 years, right?
Right.
Which is because when people are like, can you believe that it's popular? I'm like, no, I can't, because there's no, like you said, rule book, and there's also no blueprint to this business. There's no, you do this and then this happens. Mm-hmm. But what I do know is that if you spend a long time working at a bunch of things like I've done, as far as over 10,000 hours of podcasting and character stuff and stand up and crowd work, and that's all the show is. It's all these tools that I've been honing, and then just put it in a way that people, I guess, dig. And it just so happens that it's an abrasive yet likable talk show host that everybody knows a little bit about, right? Even myself, I don't think I'd seen a full Phil episode when I started doing the impression, but I'd seen enough out there, enough clips, enough banter, enough there's two sides to a pancake. I didn't come 90% of the way to get 10% of the information. If you lick a calf, whatever he says, you just go, yeah, everything sounds like a thing that he would say. Yeah.
I gotta say that I think, sorry, Mayhem, I'll chamber it, but you can ask it right after this. Yeah. I gotta say that I think your portrayal of Dr. Phil is come at a perfect time for a Dr. Phil renaissance, which I feel like he's having. Because I used to think of Dr. Phil like the white Steve Harvey.
Yeah, it's a
Big,
great way to
big mustache, bald. No one really knew what they did.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like they seemed to be everywhere, but no one ever went, do you see that thing Steve Harvey said about,
Totally.
like, I mean, it was just Steve Harvey.
Yeah.
And I used to think of him as our version, the white man's version of Steve Harvey.
Yeah.
And then as of late, like recently, he's broken off. He's doing interesting interviews. He's having really thought-provoking conversations. So
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, there's a lot more to Dr. Phil. There's a lot more to him than this. And it's as you're doing him, he's getting deeper and more interesting.
Totally. Yeah, I mean, Steve Harvey, had his fuck up on the Miss America thing. He was doing his talk show. He's being really funny on Feud. So and he's a comedian. So there's he has all these avenues that make sense for what he started doing. Phil is, there's one show where it's like, you're a hermaphrodite with a PhD. Hold that thought. We'll be right back. Or, I've got two Siamese twins fighting over the same guy. Or, a cokehead child with a marijuana mom drug deal. There's just, he's a little bit more serious, I guess, in tone with like his subject matter.
But how did you get him to participate in this special?
So his son hit me up on Instagram. I think that was probably always a fantasy. I think probably, we've been doing the live show at the Comedy Store for just about a year. And I'd say probably in April or May, people started being like, you got to get Real Phil on. And it was just like, oh, yeah, that'd be the dream. And then I got Guest of the Year on Kill Tony, and they gave me an award that Dr. Phil presented to me at the Arena show in Austin.
Wow.
So that's the first time that I was like, oh, he's seen it, and I guess I'm getting the stamp of approval because Tony was like, Dr. Phil, turn around, and we got a little surprise for you. And a big screen at the H-E-B Arena in Austin played a video of Phil being like, it's with great pleasure and confusion that I give the Kill Tony Guest of the Year to Adam Ray as Dr. Phil. And then he pauses and goes, wait, what? And he's like, I wish I could be there, but I was eating an apple. And then he kind of gives me the award and says, congrats and whatever. And then I didn't, hit him up, but then his son hit me up and was like, my dad loves your shit. We should get him on the show. And it just took a minute of just a lot of, like you guys know, when you're trying to either book up a show or just be active without being a nuisance. And finally we got a date that worked. And then Netflix came in pretty quick and pretty late. And we got it figured out in a short amount of time. But, having him on was... I didn't talk to him up until about, I think I FaceTimed with him an hour before the show when I was in the makeup chair and kind of gave him the rundown of like, all right, the show's unscripted. Everything's just a big playground. I don't want you to have to prep anything, but I do want to hit a few beats as far as like, this is a special moment. It's a year into the show. It's like kind of going to be a big pop because it wouldn't have made sense if we did it 2 shows in because there was no build. The show has gotten... we're doing these theater shows now. We just did the Beacon in New York on Friday.
Wow.
For 3,000 people.
Wow.
Sold out 4 months ago.
Wow.
We had Jessica Kirson, Godfrey. I posted a clip of it. If you can pull up the clip on my Instagram, Jason Biggs came and the Goo Goo Dolls and my buddy Jeremiah Watkins, who's a comedian who plays a different character every show. He did Rocky when we were in Philly at the theater there at the Miller Theater. He did RFK 2 shows ago. And on this show, he played the Pie. And Jason Biggs and the Pie reunited.
The Pie.
And Johnny Resnick came out and played And I'd Give Up Forever while they fucked on a bed. And if you have the clip on my Instagram, it's about 2.5 minutes. It's wild. And anyway, so
well, it's great when you hit a zeitgeist saturation point where people start coming out and being attracted
Adam, the
to
energy, I was always so trepidatious about doing it in theaters because I was like, oh man, it's like maybe not going to translate because the store is so intimate.
Right.
The energy, I'm going to fly you out to one. You have to do it. It's fucking wild, dude. It's as my wife's friend said, she goes, it feels cultish because they're so excited when I come out. And the show is so fun. And so again, no real map. Or no real, nothing scripted, but I have a map, and we always go, like we beat it out. The Pie, the curtain comes up and reveals a fireplace in the bed. When Johnny comes out playing, singing, and he has a guitarist, and Jason and Jeremiah walk to the bed, and we like it was a high school production, ran through all the beats. But with Phil, I was like, dude, when I come out, I'm going to say, I don't like your fucking attitude to somebody in the crowd. You come out, reveal yourself. They're going to go nuts as they did. We had the phones locked up. he grabs the mic after his applause dies down and goes, I don't like your fucking attitude. And then we get into it, and I go, who are you? And he goes, who the fuck are you? He goes, who am I, bitch? Who are you? And then we do a little mirror thing, and then we get into chatting. So the chatting part, as you know, is just all off the cuff, which is, I think, what's really fun about it, right? It's and then we did a game at the end, but
here's the way I think I would describe it. In that, when you're dealing with sort of skilled and seasoned performers, especially comedians, like wrestlers, they don't, back in the day or even now, professional wrestlers, they don't go choreograph every single move. They've both done it so much that they know what this person's coming at them with, and they agree to some of the beats. And then in between the beats, they know because they're seasoned, And I think when you have people with a lot of improv experience, a lot of stage time, a lot of stand-up experience, you can go up there and you can know where people are going. And also you can hit the beats, not every piece of dialogue, unnecessary, because you have funny people with a lot of 10,000 hours worth of reps.
Yeah. And I think, and you can attest to this better than anybody, it's really fun to get to a point to where you go like, all right, like if I am, funny on stage, funny on the mic, I want to be put in a situation where I can really flex those muscles. And it really is a playground to be silly, but also like, like you want to bring it. And it's like the crowd that is so excited and really supportive, I think, as you can feel. I mean, you murdered, dude. But also, again, 10,000 hours plus, but you also jumped in the bit boat and you're like, I get what this is. I'm also going to be fearless, not have a filter, go along with it. And people love that too.
I think the mistake that some performers and some comedians make is they stand outside of the bit and they comment on it.
Yes.
You need to jump into the bit. You got to be in the snow globe on the paint can shaker, not standing next to it, looking at it and making snarky comments about it.
And that takes years. And I know that I definitely did not have it. It even took a convincing for myself to even do the show, because I had thoughts of like, what if it fucking, the first time at least, like, what if it bombs? And I'm at the store where I fucking worked and got passed, and all the employees are homies. And what if they're judging me because I tried this thing that didn't work? And then they're like, dude, you're a comic. What are you doing these fucking characters? I had all these thoughts, and eventually you just have to go like, who gives a shit? We're all going to die someday. Fucking, you got to throw darts, dude. And it felt, at the end of the day, I go, well, it feels fun to try. And that's what I'm going to do. Do you have that
clip?
Okay,
yes, we have the clip.
We're talking about jumping in the bit boat.
Okay. Johnny Resnick.
So this is Jason Biggs going, you want to talk about commitment.
Ladies and gentlemen, please make it loud from American Pie 1, The Pie.
So this episode comes out November 24th.
Now Biggs knows.
He knows what's happening,
Right.
And I said, how far do you want to go with the sex stuff? He goes, we got to go for it.
Oh, good. That's so awesome.
Hey.
3,000 people.
Hey. I want that too, but let's just let the moment play out the way God intended.
It's good to see you. It's good to see. How have you been?
I've been really good.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm sorry that I lost touch with you. I am.
Oh, the pies.
Jason, stop.
Wow. Scorn. Hell hath no fury like a pie
sorry.
scorned.
I'm sorry, okay? I really...
So this part was all scripted, at least from my vantage point. I was like, this is how we get into it. I go, then you taste him, and then you say this.
Oh, okay.
Forgot how good she tastes, honestly.
Let me refresh your memory.
Oh my God. If you showed this to Bob
What
Hope.
the fuck is going on right
If
now?
you resurrected Bob Hope and went, this is called live
This is comedy,
he'd be
wouldn't
like,
get it.
what the hell kind of Sodom and Gomorrah is taking over this country? I mean,
Here comes Johnny,
he would never stop throwing up.
Oh my God.
You're the closest heaven
And he sounds so good.
That's
so great.
I wanna go home right now.
That's Johnny Resnick from the Goo Goo Dolls.
All I can taste is this moment. Fuck the pie. All I can breathe is your life. When sooner or later.
Vince is going for it.
Yeah, he is.
Don't wanna miss you tonight.
Come on.
Johnny Resnick, ladies and gentlemen, and Brad from the Goo Goo Dolls.
That's so awesome.
Verse number
taking
2,
the
Johnny,
shirt
you got
off.
it.
All right.
When everything feels like the
This is
movies.
the greatest thing I've ever seen.
Bleed just to know you're alive. This might be the best show in the history of the fucking world.
God, that is awesome.
So there's, I mean, one part, and then it builds. It goes another 2 minutes, and then at one point, they are. So we had Steven, who does tech for us, built the pie costume. He's this. This was also is great about just creating shit from the ground up and then making it collaborative. Steven, who runs tech at the store, basically music up, music down for comedians, lights.
Right.
That's his job. He is a fucking wizard in other departments that nobody knows about. And we start doing the show, and then he's like, hey, do you want this? I could build this. I could build this. And so I tell him about the pie thing. He builds the pie costume. And then I go, it would really be cool if Jeremiah could squirt and come as the pie. So he built a contraption inside, and we didn't put it on that because I didn't want to give it away. But they keep going. They're full on making out. Jason asked Jeremiah backstage before, is it cool if I kiss you? And Jeremiah's like, I mean, I think we got to just fucking go for it.
Right.
And at one point, he squirts fucking whipped cream. It goes 9 rows deep, dude.
Wow.
And Johnny Resnick is crying, laughing to where I have to take over singing the song. And then they're going for it. They're eating each other out. He's fingering while he's squirting the pie out. And then at the end, we all sing, and I give it up to Johnny and Brad, the guitarist for Goo Goo Dolls, and Jason. And then Jeremiah, the way to get in, every episode ends with a fake fight, where Jeremiah and I, whatever character he is, we fake fight. He goes to the ground with sound effects. I kick his ass, and then spotlight on me, and I go, sorry you guys had to see that, but I'm not sorry you had to feel that. And then I give my closing remarks. That's the end of the show. So we had to get into the fight. So I go, Jeremiah, I think the way to get into it is you then ask me if I want leftovers, right? So you're like, you want sloppy seconds, whatever? And I'm like, no, I'm on Adkins. And he's like, doesn't look like it, And then I'm like, what'd you say, bitch? And that's all it takes. So then as I start getting ready to get in his face, the crowd starts chanting, fuck that pie again to you. So now it's 3,000 people chanting, fuck that pie. And hey, man, I don't know if you've ever experienced that, but it's a bitch as far as peer pressure goes. So in my head, I'm like, all right,
I've heard that. Well, I've heard the fuck that strudel chant. I've been on stage many times for that, but never pie.
Oh my God, dude.
Again, let's picture Bob Hope.
Yeah.
Like sitting with a cardigan watching this, sitting in his den, just watching this and going,
Bob, this is
comedy.
I think he'd like it. I think
this is what a chunk of the country is into.
To vaudeville. This is vaudeville, all over again.
Dude, great call. I think it is getting back to a... I mean, look, dude, the live show element is not going anywhere, right? We saw, I mean, when COVID hit, we were performing in cars and outdoors, and people just that'll never not be a thing. Even as much as the movie industry took a hit and people were like, well, now they just want to stay home and stream Jungle Cruise. It's like, there is an aspect to seeing like that's fun. I'm glad we captured that for the internet. But man, seeing it live, shit like that is just different.
Yeah, I mean, we started doing live podcasts 15 years ago, like right about this time.
Oh wow!
Like there was no live podcast.
Yeah,
and we were sitting around here, not getting paid to do a podcast. And so Mike August, who's always looking to get paid, was like, what if we took this thing to the Irvine Improv and we just did a live stage version of the podcast? And
Mike August, there's the guy that'll fuck that strudel.
No, he'll fuck that strudel for a nickel.
He'll fuck a Pop-Tart.
So you kind of go, well, what are we doing? And I remember the first few times we did a live podcast, the audience didn't know what was going on because there were no live podcasts. But now there's live everything in all different forms, and it's fantastic. Like it's great. It's great that there is no template anymore, and there are no more rules.
You said it was organic that you came to it. Dude, you're such a talented performer. You got all these different impressions. How the hell did you land on Dr. Phil?
So I got real stagnant with, I guess, just what I was, stand-up podcast audition. I guess just waiting around to be in other people's shit. So I put together this like pilot called Jeremy Rising. It's on my YouTube, and I played 3 different characters. This like nerdy man-boy child or adult man, and with braces and a ponytail, and an old lady medium, and then this heavy-set gay hairstylist who was the dad of the kid and left his wife to be a gay hairstylist. Fat suit. If you can find it somewhere, it's called Jeremy Rising, and then you scroll halfway through. I'm in a fat suit. I got Tom Lennon, David Koechner, Ron Funches, and Joel McHale to be in it. And it was basically like, if I could do my show, this is what it was. Me playing 3 characters in a dysfunctional family. And I had the bald fat suit thing, and Joel goes, "You look like Dr. Phil." So I started doing that. People were laughing. I go, "I should go to the Laugh Factory tonight." I think I saw you there that night. Holy shit, I did.
You did. That was your first
We
night.
have a picture of us somewhere. That was the first time I did it, and with Dr. Phil on stage, really, like in the full thing, and it went well. And then it was like, okay, cool, that's a fun thing to do, but didn't really give too much thought to it. And then COVID hit, and I was sitting around trying to flex, some sort of creative muscle. And Jeremiah and I were like, let's do these lost episodes in a black box theater that we rented.
That was the night COVID hit, because I remember walking outside of the Laugh Factory that night.
And Fauci was there, and he goes, "Gotcha."
There's a TMZ chick standing there, and she was like, "It's COVID." Like,
what are you doing performing?
COVID. Yeah, like something. And I go, "Oh, it is." And I kissed her on the lips or something to prove I didn't care about COVID. And that was it. I remember that night, and then went home and never came back. Like, it was all closed after that. I think that was pretty much COVID.
Pretty much
the end of COVID.
Yep. So then it was like, well, let's we got to keep busy, and Jeremiah has all these characters, so we did all these lost episodes, and we'd improvise for a couple hours and then put about 30-40 minutes on YouTube. So that's where I kind of got to at least find whatever version of this. And obviously here on the Carolla show, the amount of times coming on, fucking around with it, but like you said, in 2 to 3 minute doses. Sometimes maybe 20 seconds I just do a quick throwaway.
Right.
So this was a 2-hour, like really getting to like figure out, all right, what version of this guy is the guy that I am fucking around with. And then I was doing these Adam Ray and Friends shows at the store, and I wanted to do something different. And I had seen like the Oh Hello show with John Mulaney and Nick Kroll, and Will Ferrell's George Bush show. Again, always